Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob. Yes, welcome to Ask Rob and Rob, where you know the drill by now. You send in your questions and we do our very best to answer them for you. Let's have a recap of how you can send in a question of your own. Yep, dead easy. All you need to do is give us a call, 013 808 0035. That's 013 808 0035, and you can leave us a voicemail there. Or alternatively, you can go over to thepropertyhub.net/ask and send us a message there instead.
And this question is all about economic cycles, so I'm excited to answer this one.
Hi, morning Rob. It's Shashank here from Swindon. I would like to thank you both for your hard work. I've only started listening to your podcast last few months, and I appreciate the free knowledge you guys are sharing with all of us newbies. I've read through Rob's book and gone through the course where your 18-year cycle has been explained. I've also understand that from Robert Kiyosaki's videos and books that there is a 7 to 10 years of recession cycle. So are you able to help me out understand how does these cycle overlaps? Is there any relationship between these two cycles of 18 years property cycle and 7 to 10 years of recession cycle? Thank you very much.
Okay, great question. Thank you so much for sending this one in, because it means I get to talk about one of my favourite subjects, economic cycles. Yes, I am that dull. Right, okay. So, we talk about the 18-year property cycle a lot, and if you've not listened to any of our podcasts on this subject, you must. It's really important if you have any interest in investing. But I'm going to make the assumption that you understand the 18-year property cycle, so I'm not going to go into what that is right now, except to say that it's a long-term cycle that takes place over 18 years. Now, as Shashank has said, Robert Kiyosaki talks about cycles taking 7 to 10 years. And there are other people out there who talk in different cycle time lengths. One I particularly like is Ray Dalio's, which is 5 to 8 years. So what's the difference? In this range anywhere from 5 to 10 years, depending on who you listen to, and the 18-year property cycle. Does that mean one is wrong, another one is right? They're all wrong, they're all right? Well, actually, they're all pretty much correct, because there are two cycles within the 18-year property cycle, and that's where these other cycles that Ray Dalio and Robert Kiyosaki have talked about fit in quite nicely. Because remember, in their cycles, they're generally talking about the wider economy. The 18-year property cycle is a property cycle and not an economic cycle. And within this 18-year property cycle, you go through different stages, which includes a downturn, which may play out in the wider economy as a recession or a stock market correction or a stock market crash. So there are cycles within cycles. And if you watch the video Ray Dalio has created called How the Economic Machine Works, which you can find for free on YouTube, you'll see that actually there's even longer cycles of 75 to 100 years. So the 18-year property cycle is a cycle within that too. Now, this all may start to sound confusing if you don't geek out on this type of stuff like Rob and I do. But what's important to remember is if you understand the basics of these cycles, which you can achieve by watching that video I've just referenced and listening to podcasts where we discuss the 18-year property cycle, then the basic understanding of those cycles will put you in a good place. You don't have to be an expert, and Rob and I will often comment on where we feel we are in those cycles right now. For example, the mid-cycle wobble in the 18-year property cycle is pretty much where we're at now, and maybe going into maybe a little bit more to go before we come out the other side of that. We may see that play out for at least another year before we go into the next phase, which is a growth surge. So thanks, Shashank. Thanks for asking that question. Allows me to discuss one of my favourite topics without having to bore people at the pub like I normally do with that type of stuff.
All right, that is us done for another week. If you've got a question of your own, you know how to send it in. Call 013 808 0035 and we'll look forward to answering that. Otherwise, we will see you on Thursday for the Property Podcast. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.